too.
Yeah, go right there. I don't know. Darling. I pasted all the stuff in and made it much more professional too. Hey.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Fix up
Man's
the
is
titles
loud.
and stuff like that.
What up, YouTube? How
Hey,
y'all
guys.
doing? What's popping? What's going on?
Oh, you know what? I probably need to turn off the
Oh, the
focus.
magic focus. It's always funny. It's always Marsha from the start.
Yeah. Should be okay.
I'm here to see what's going on with the man. One's dead now, so it's good. Guess because people are going to watch this back anyway, so we can still go. Well, welcome back. Welcome to.
You are live.
Yeah, we are. Here we are. We always put it on in the background.
Always what you're
On the
gonna
TV behind us, so we can see what it looks like.
Yeah, you're gonna hang out in that same spot, kind of, right?
Yep, I'm not trying to move.
Perfect.
Wow, someone's trying to call me now from the kitchen. That isn't a kitchen number 226.
Random. That's not Kinta
Huh?
ramen.
Oh shit! What if it is?
Oh, double check it.
Yeah. Can you talk to people? Hello.
1 second, guys. We're gonna make sure it's not Kinta.
Yes. Okay. So what does that? What, oh, so they didn't even get the order. So I have to cancel it. Can you go to that?
Yeah.
They're not. Oh, the restaurant's not picking up their phones. Okay. So do I call the restaurant or do I have? Are you from DoorDash or are you from the restaurant?
Hey, guys.
Okay. Okay. No
Okay.
problem. We'll see what we can do. Thanks, man. Cheers. Bye.
Okay, do you want
Sorry,
to talk and I'll
Yeah,
work
can you
that out
figure that
then?
out? We're trying to get everything delivered nicely. So what we've been doing, and last week when it was my birthday, we got an order. We ordered the food so that arrived like right after we finished here. So it's kind of perfect. We're just trying to support local restaurants, and now they're
Hey, Brad. Hey, Vasa.
Hey yo, what's good? So anyway, apologies. Sorry. It's
We were
like-
trying to order DoorDash.
Yeah, what are
We're
you
trying to
do?
get ramen, Vasa, and you'd be proud.
Yeah.
Here, you can just talk to them. I'm gonna try to see if I can cancel from the app.
Yeah, so they screwed us over, unfortunately. Like, everything's weird. I don't know if you guys have experienced this with, what do you call it? Any of the apps. But they all of them, are like, they haven't updated all their hours. And, like, we just found it really, really difficult to get anything. And it's, like, I don't know. In the time when you're trying to support local businesses and shit, like, it's really annoying. So I don't understand why they're doing that. So we ordered it all beforehand. There was a deal with the ramen because I'm like hankering for some ramen, and then these motherfuckers holler be like, yeah, with vague ass instructions, being like, yeah, they're not answering their phone, I don't know. Like he's not even telling me any info.
Was he a driver?
Yeah, I said, so who are you? Because he had a strong accent, so I couldn't understand him. And I asked him what he wanted us to do. So he was like, you can call the restaurant or you can call DoorDash. I'm like, okay, so like, which one then? There's very different. Or you can cancel it on the app. So I don't know, like canceling it at this point. The app's dead, so you can try. All right. So anyway, I'll let Tiff do that. I'll wait till we crack the beer, and I'll wait till we start the podcast till she's back. So apologies, y'all. So how's everyone going? What's happening? What's going on? It's Friday. Friday. Rattles Bassam. Yeah, here. I can sort of see it. Tiff usually controls the talking, so it's not like two of us staring at a fucking computer the whole time. But it's all good. So tonight we're gonna get some 5 beers. I'm excited for them. I want to shout out Bassam though for getting me my Bellwood shipment, which arrived today. I'm stoked. We're not cracking those yet. Maybe after actually, but the Bellwood stuff is really good to be able to get my hands on it because there's some stuff that I wouldn't normally be able to get at all anywhere. Any luck?
Oh, no.
No?
It's going to take the last 5 minutes.
Okay, so it's going to talk shit for 5 minutes while we're fucking waiting.
Yeah, just talk to
Alright.
Bassam and Brad.
Well, I don't know, because people tune in for this later at the stage, right? So they'll talk normal. But yeah, so...
Or just you can start the podcast. I'll be here on the side and then I'll walk in.
No, it's fine, we'll wait. What was I saying? Bellwoods got the order. Yeah, so sick. So even the beers we're going to drink tonight are from New Brunswick, actually. That was different because that was through like a PR avenue, whereas some stuff I'm just trying to get, like it's super annoying to not be able to get it, so I have to bother friends to be like, hey, can you send me my shit? Like, it's super annoying, but I know we were talking about it last time, because it's still a big problem. Like a lot of people I'm speaking to, particularly here in Quebec, they can't get hold of anything they really want. Particularly if you're like, even if you're just in the suburbs and there's like only one brew in the North Shore and Laval, there's one brew. They're great, but like if you don't live near them and you don't have a car, which would kind of be weird if you're in the suburbs without a car. But if that's how you're rolling, like you're not going to be able to get your hands on much. So it's super. It's still like a work in progress, and the only option in Quebec here is still the depth. So at least got a couple ways to get some stuff. So now I'm stocked to the fucking brim with haze. I was stressing like last week even. But man, I don't know if I'm gonna get haze for a bit. I don't know how I'm gonna figure this out. But you know what? The beer gods are smiling on me. We gotta go. Funny slight story. While waiting for Tiff to wrap this up. So last Friday we did the podcast on my birthday, and we drank a pale ale and the actual collab we did, the stout. So the Saturday night, I decided that Tiff wasn't drinking them with me, so I drank the two beers that I had remaining myself. So that was an 8% double IPA, and the 8.5% stout in 750ml growlers, so a total of 1.5 liters, which is the equivalent of 3 8% cans. Now, you know, I could typically do that, I guess, 3 8%. I mean, it's a lot, but I could probably handle it normally. And it was extra stressing because the growlers are pop tops. And growlers, even if they've got the screw top and they're properly like nitro and stuff, I don't think they have a long lifespan. And I didn't want to risk it. And this is some of the best beer in Canada. It's the third highest rated brewery, right? So I was like, I'm not letting these guys go. I have to drink them this next night. And I wanted to do videos for each of them too. So I ended up FaceTiming with my cousin in Australia for like an hour and a half. No, I'm sorry, 2.5 hours. Nearly 3 actually. And
Hey, Daniel's here.
Dan's here? Hey, what up, bro?
Daniel's in Vancouver, Dan, not your cousin Dan.
Yes, other Dan. So I was talking about my cousin Dan. Shouts to Dan in Vancouver, who just got a fire shipment today. Steamworks. Got that Vancouver stuff. Talking about the delivery. Man, he's been our like benchmark for that stuff. It's awesome. So I was talking to my cousin for a while, and I brought a beer, just a Pilsner, in there to talk to him, and hadn't really eaten. Normally I'd be snacking a bunch and have a bit of a foundation and stuff. So I was feeling okay, but I was pretty hungry by that time. So I did a 1-minute review of the 8% double IPA, crushed that pretty quick while I was eating and stuff, and then went and had the other one afterwards. I was feeling pretty fine. I was kind of drunk, but I was feeling fine. When I went to bed, man, I did that sit in front of the toilet for 20 minutes beforehand, just like salivating and just like gotta cleanse yourself with that shit. I didn't puke, luckily. I would be vexed. Normally puking, I hate it anyway, but it's good if you are able to if you're not going to sleep or you just get it out. But I didn't need, I guess I would have been extra mad because this was our collab beer. I'm like, man, you're like, I only had a couple of bottles of it. You can't get it in cans or anything. And then if I puked it all up, I would have been so pissed. I hate wasting good beer. I puked in LA. It was about 2.5 years ago. We went to Monkish. Did a podcast beforehand in Smoke City. Didn't eat. I made like a real like shit. Like it was a nice breakfast, but it didn't have like carbs to fill up. I wasn't thinking. And then we did a podcast. They kept plowing us with beers, and then they're across the street from Monkish, and we went there. And aftermath, I don't even remember the car ride home. I puked so hard; it was horrible. And I was extra mad because I also bought a growler. I think it was a growler. Yeah, I did. That's why I had a Monkish. I bought a growler of whatever, a beer from that, and we only had like 4 days left. And it takes you, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm sick, it takes me a little bit to get over it, and kind of get used to. Or wanting to even drink again. So I had to force myself to drink this fire out, and I waited 4 days. That's kind of the point of the story as well. I waited 4 days before I drank that pop top growler, and it wasn't what it should have been. A lot of the carbonation had gone and stuff like that. So I was like super disappointed. So at least I didn't puke there, but I couldn't drink for a few days after last week. Fuck hell. Any luck?
No, so I think, because this is the problem, so we ordered from, I think it's just good to just start the podcast. In the end, it's like, if we're not going to get it, we're not going to get it. Just move on with life.
Right, well, if you're going to talk, confirm.
But I just realized now as I sat down that they had a number.
Okay. This is riveting content, guys. Riveting content.
But in the end, maybe we just don't cancel it. We can just continue with the podcast, because in the end...
Oh, just let it go. What difference does it make?
Because everyone's struggling, so what's the difference, right?
As long as they don't charge us and we can come back.
And if they charge us, we'll we didn't get it.
Can't around and have to proof
Yeah.
for that. Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, feeling good. Camera's good.
in the interest of getting her effing going,
getting
as
going.
the kids say.
All
Hello
right.
to all our friends out there.
Hello, guys. G'day. Hello. All right. Audio.
Daniel, your barbecue's like really intense.
Yeah.
So I looked and I started looking at barbecues yesterday, and they are pricey. I guess like if we're gonna spend our entire summer on a balcony, then maybe it makes sense too. I guess we just haven't really used it in the last 7 years, really. So.
No, well now we don't have a choice because we ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, but I might do the Daniel setup there, the Daniel Magic setup.
We just talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
All right, podcast started?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 3 of our Adjunct series Quarantine Edition podcast. I am back here in Montreal, of course, at home safely, with my brand new forced co-host, Tiffany Alexis, our
Here
producer.
I am, forced.
No, you're doing good though. You're embracing it.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's not like you haven't been on a bunch anyway. So guys, welcome back. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube Live right now. Loving it. This has become fun. I look forward to these every week now.
Let us know how the audio's going too, guys out there.
Yeah, I looked at it as you pressed go, streaming, and it was up from where it was last time, so it should be fine.
Okay,
I think
good.
it should kind of be plug and play. It's something Dan saying.
Dan says it's he got his for $500. Okay, that's what I saw. So
Yeah.
I was like, is that right?
Yeah.
Like, or is this
Well,
like
this is
some
no context
ridiculous?
for the people on the audio.
So guys, as you know, on the podcast here,
Look at the audio.
God, I'm new to
Sorry.
this lifestyle.
It's good. It's
okay?
good. No, that was very
So
funny.
Craig's laughing at me because I'm looking at the mic because he said
Because we're in front of the camera for the YouTube live, and then Tiff's I said no, because we're continuing on a conversation we had before we went.
He's like, talk. The people on the podcast won't know. So I looked over to the people on the podcast,
like gesturing towards them.
But anyways, I'm talking to them. The people live already know. So basically, we're talking back and forth about getting a barbecue because, as we all know, we're not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. So we want to deck out our balcony, and our lovely friend Daniel has a very nice barbecue set there. And
Really nice.
I don't know the gauge of what is an accurate pricing for a barbecue, and he said $500. So
yeah,
fine.
So
Is that propane or coal?
Propane.
Propane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coal, coal presents a whole other problem. Propane, you can go to any servo or gas station or whatever and swap it out pretty much. Coal, where the fuck do you get coal from? Is it just the
I
supermarket?
got Canadian Tire and stuff, no?
Yeah, but that's not close to us, and it's heavy bag.
I'm sure probably.
Think about that annoyance of it. Whereas,
That's true. That is
if
true.
there's a gas station there and across the street, we should be able to figure out the propane, which is annoying but less annoying than carrying coal further.
That's facts. That's fair.
They're both an ordeal, though. Either way.
Yeah.
But we want to buy.
It's a whole
barbecue.
thing.
If anyone has any barbecue recommendations,
Yeah.
for
Coal is
something-
messy and takes hella long, Daniel said.
Oh, there you
I
go.
was wondering if it was like,
If he's smoky,
it's
probably
going to
get
be
better
more
flavor.
smoky. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
It probably would be.
But it seems like a lot of work. I don't know
Yeah.
what the payoff is, so.
Yeah, that's it. Love to hear any barbecue thoughts. Barbecues and other shits. It's the variety we're moving
Hey,
towards.
quarantine edition, anything goes, It's
Last
live.
week it was babies and other shit.
Yeah,
For
there you
Scooter
go.
right
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
So let's crack. No, how are you? What's going on?
Oh, thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm good,
Yeah.
Living this quarantine life, working,
Yep.
hanging with the
With the people
You?
them.
hanging with you,
You.
and virtually hanging with the people over here, I guess. So
Your
yeah,
mental health as well. You're coping.
I am coping very well, and my mental health is in check. What
Good.
about you?
I think I'm gonna be crazy.
Are you?
I'm not. I feel like I'm getting more angry at small things now.
But you are breaking stuff, so
Yeah, I am breaking things, so it's
like by
fair,
accident, not angrily.
Yeah, I
breaking
didn't say
stuff,
like
but-
knock something, break it. Like happened a couple of times yesterday. I just got really annoyed, particularly. I don't know. I feel like it's like
Because it's so
everything's fine.
inconvenient to have to
That's
go
mostly
and
what
get
it
something.
is. It's almost like if we didn't. I saw someone say this before. When we weren't forced to stay home, all we wanted to do was stay home,
Yeah,
and then now that we're forced to stay home, I kind of feel like no, I want to go out.
yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah.
I don't
I've
do
seen
what
a
you
few
say.
people be like, "I'll never decline an invitation again." Like anyone who asks me out, I'm going, I'm not there yet. I'm still happy
Yeah.
where I am.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm just getting more frustrated with that. I guess is what it is. But I didn't notice anything before, like yesterday, day before, maybe the last few days, this week. I feel like I've just been like more, what's the word? Just easily annoyed at small things that aren't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that afterwards. I'm like, yo, what, man, chill. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that serious. But that's probably, a lot of people would probably be relating to that from what I've seen online. Like a lot of folks aren't huge fans of this whole situation.
Yeah.
So,
That's fair.
That's why we have craft beer.
And the Homebodies Unite, I've been fine. I'm completely fine. I keep saying, like, I feel bad for how fine I am in terms of being alone. I mean, being in the house. Like,
being in the house does not.
Because then people make me feel guilty because they're like, oh, don't you miss like going outside and stuff? And I was like, I don't know. I always like got really excited when we had like a 3-day stretch of like just being at home and not having to leave. So
because it is
maybe in a few months I'll like start getting antsy. I feel like when the weather kicks up, that's when I'd be annoyed.
Yeah, which is why we were talking about the barbecue, because we have a balcony here that we barely use. It's kind of like too big for 2 people.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like annoying to even maintain. There's always spiders and bugs and shit. It's disgusting. So we bought spider spray, and I don't know. And like, it's just the sun doesn't shine on it at all. You get the 6 a.m. sun for whatever direction we're facing, like east or something. So you get the 6 a.m. shit, and that's it. Like you don't get any afternoon sun. Like you get nothing. So it's like always in the dark. Really big and long with a ton of spiders and bugs. Yeah. So this
really sounds appealing.
Yeah, it's not appealing at all. So now we're gonna we've got like a green astroturf thing going on there.
We're gonna get some that wood.
Those IKEA little like
piece together wood things.
Yeah, our friend Daniel.
Daniel knows. What's that thing called? At the
I don't know what they're called.
The deck, the fake deck.
Yeah, we got fake grass and we got fake deck.
Yeah,
it's just whatever. Some wood pieces that kind of maybe separate it. They raise it a bit and maybe it'll feel nicer.
Yeah.
Or something, but we're going to try and use it a bunch more in summer because that's as good as it gets.
Yeah. All right, let's drink this beer.
So, this evening, I was very, very fortunate to get my hands on some beer from these guys. The brewery, for those watching online there, is called Trailway. They are based in Fredericton, New Brunswick. They are, let me show that haze, mate. Oof. They are some haze gods, the haze gods in New Brunswick. Luckily, in the past, I only had this beer I'm pouring right now, which I'll tell you about in a sec, and another one, and just found it really difficult to get hold of their beers just because even I'm like a quality good. I don't need that quality. How's that looking? Is it looking fair?
It's looking pretty equal.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
this one specifically, starting with this one because it's called Dunder, an Australian Pale Ale, 4.8%.
Oh, respect.
Right? I think it's Aussie. I'd have to check the Untapped, but it's probably got Australian hops, I would imagine.
I feel like it should, yeah.
Doesn't smell like it. It's got a bit of a Galaxy, probably, Big Secret.
I was going to say Big Secret.
Yeah. Super haze, mate. I love it.
I can actually tell you because we're right beside...
you can probably do that. Well, while you're Googling, cheers. Yeah, Daniel. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. What's everyone drinking? Let us know. So that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Creamy. I feel like it's like a touch of bitterness, but this is the first beer. Nice. I don't know. Super light, but tons of flavor. Definitely got those Galaxy vibes, that sort of hop burn. A lot of the beers that I've had from Trailway have hop burn, which is exactly what I'm after.
Yeah, I'm not mad at a little hop burn at all.
I love it. Yeah, it's great. Super crushable. So the good news about Trailway is that they are coming into Quebec, I believe, as of April 23rd. Their beer we're going to have next called Huge on Hops, but it's spelled funny. It's clever. That beer is phenomenal. That's their flagship, and that's going to be available across Quebec next week. Or when you're hearing this, probably in a few days, like the end of next week, I think. Which is super dope, and I was very, very happy to hear that. Got in touch with them. Shouts to Dan Mason, is a co-owner and head brewer. He made sure I got my hands on the Pale Ale, Huge on Hops, and a couple other beers that I hadn't had before, and I had a couple last night, and they were out of control. Cat doesn't say anywhere, right?
No.
You got on Huge on Hops, it doesn't say on the, what's it called? Untapped. So I was trying to look for it.
Yeah, see, that's why I went to the website, and then they don't have anything
on
there
see,
yet.
Everything they do is haze. Ooh,
yeah,
I love it. And I think it's really sick. It's super random that a brewery that does beer this good are in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I've never been there before, but they're not exactly known for
that area, right?
Beers. Yeah, Halifax is, which is clearly another province, but somewhat close, I think. A few hours away, they've got a bunch of fire. They hear a ton about their beers, but not anywhere else in New Brunswick. So
maybe it's just spilling over. It's just like it's gonna eventually. The whole point is that it goes across the entire country.
Yeah, but it's good I was extra excited because it's coming into Quebec. And if anybody is familiar with Quebec's beer situation, we don't get a lot from outside of the province here, for better or worse. I mean, it's focused quite locally, which is dope. But at the same time, up until the last year or so, I didn't really have a lot of access to the beers that I like to drink, such as this type of stuff. Now, there were a few things in the store. I've talked about this a bunch on the podcast, but And we could get Boreal, Northeast, and like beer time of year, both are incredible beers. But beer drinkers want to drink more than just those two. So it was something that you couldn't get them whenever you went out. It was those cans, and then how the brewery started doing. You get some bar Canada drops here and there, and like different things. And when I went out, we could never get haze until Massorum and Brewski sort of changed that for everybody, which is amazing. So whilst the volume of really solid hazy IPAs that I want to drink increasing, you still couldn't get access to anything from Ontario recently until Collective Arts just came in end of last year or something, I think. What's people saying that's funny?
You saw the smile on my face?
I saw the smile. No, it's good.
So we're just asking what everyone's drinking. So Daniel's having 4 wins.
Oh, it's having the crispy back.
For Reed and Brewing collab.
Okay.
You know about that?
No. It's he got they did a pack of 4 different collabs.
Oh, New England style Pilsner. Wow.
New England. What's a New England Pilsner?
New England style Pilsner. That's interesting.
Now we're talking, Dan. Now we're talking.
And Bassam's having he's drinking bottled water with a hint of tap water to build his immunity.
I love it.
Well done. So
that's
ridiculous.
South Pacific hops, it says. That is hilarious.
Yeah, so it just said like various hops and generally South Pacific.
Yeah, South Pacific. Yeah, I didn't say enough.
So
yeah, we can only get Collective Arts came in, BAOS came in. Who else came in from here? If you go to SAQ, you can always get some Belgian stuff or whatever. And like I picked up some European joints. What's it called? I got some Boom, some Lambic the other day, and Magic Rock from England. Yes, they were fantastic. So you get a few little bonuses here and there, but like, otherwise that's it.
Yeah.
So I was super stoked to learn that these guys are coming in. Not only is it cool to have something fresh and new, but also that Two Crows from Halifax also now Transbrew are doing them, and I think Transbrew are also doing Trailway. So they're helping them come in. They're helping brews come in. So Two Crows are great, but I only heard about that like secondhand from somebody else. I didn't really see much about it. So that's why I really want to promote this.
Yeah.
Because I want this to do well so that they freaking stay around, so that it gives us an additional, fire haze that we can grab, and hopefully they keep them fresh. That would be the only challenge, I think.
Yeah.
Importing from out there is like they're gonna probably make a batch just for Quebec and just can her up and just send the pallets over straight away,
immediately,
and so they can get out and distro. I feel like best case you're not going to see it on shelves. It's going to be getting 2 weeks old, probably maybe 3. I'm sure that's fine. I'd like to ask Dan. What do you think? You guys
what was Lagerbeer doing?
They're already from here, so it goes.
No, I'm saying Lagerbeer to because they're going like New Orleans, like all these like crazy places.
They're going to be.
They must be like.
They mentioned it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They said it was going to take. You could probably get it in 1 week fresh.
Okay.
But
yeah,
it's going into America. Quebec has way more rules. And it's
really
ridiculous, and it depends on how Transbrew sell it, how many places buy it and stuff. Where you are, maybe it's Montreal centric, and then it takes longer out. Like when we released Love Dust, our glitter collab. I remember JF from Echo telling me that it's like starts in Montreal, and people are asking, "Hey, when can I get it? Or where can I get it?" When it goes out, it starts here and just trickles out to the rest of Quebec, so slowly. So I don't know why that is. Maybe they've only got the one distro center, and everything starts from here, something like that. So hopefully people will be able to get it fresh. But either way, I'd say you'd be safe. I don't know how many of these are, but you'd be safe. Like this.
It's good though.
Something 18th of March. What day is it? Okay,
so
it's about a month old.
Yeah, it's very new.
Yeah, I'm sure that the other ones are different. So this is fire. So that's the first part here. Now, let me pull up my notes to see what we're going to. What is that? Here we go. All right, episode 3. All right, Trailway coming into back. Oh yeah, so this is the one. So right now it's Huge on hops, HUJON hops. Pretty funny. Now he said in the next 1 to 2 months they're going to have 2 more beers potentially here: the Ooze Double IPA and the Luster Session IPA. I did not get my hands on any of those. They weren't available at the time, so I think they're working on that. Probably see how this goes. So I'll show you the can for those watching the video shortly. It's very pretty. All right, so one thing that we were going to talk about at the end of the last episode was the other half altogether concept.
Oh yeah, but just like talking about, I guess, very cool, interesting things that breweries are doing right now.
Yes.
I love the other half concept. I love that. How many breweries have participated in that at this point?
I have to check on the website. I'm not sure if they really put that up there, but I swear I heard someone say upwards of 200, 300, 400.
Crazy. So the whole thing was that they gave their recipe, right? They
gave a recipe. I think it's a pale ale with ingredients that most brewers would have on hand and not have to go out of their way to order it. And then what they would do would brew that beer. They were allowed to make tweaks to certain things. I would imagine it would probably be the hop bill or something like that. And then they had to give a percentage of the profits, or all of the profits perhaps, to a specific charity that were like a food bank or something that assisted people in this time. That was like an immediate need.
Yeah. And I love that because I guess the whole point is that you get to attach your name to other half.
Also that
well,
too,
right? So it's
to
like,
a degree,
like that thing is cool, but it also is like it's supposed to be so and so X other half, which I think is cool as well. Because that makes people also more inclined. It's kind of like what Brad has, like the Illmind beats, right? Like that.
Oh, they have to be code.
So then, but then that means you do have something that's interesting.
Did you read that, or did you assume that?
This is my assumption because they said something like to the fact that like it's like a collab with us. So in the end.
Oh, because if you tweak it, then that's the collab.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's sick, actually.
So I think that's cool. It's just like every brewery gets to be like, oh, I did this collab with other half.
And they gave them they sent the logo, and I saw in one of the things, they're like,
oh, so
the
they sent the logo,
itself
so it must be giving you everything.
They give you everything, yeah. All the files. The logo itself can't be edited, but you can add your stuff around it. So Trailway is doing a version. I saw that. Lagerbier, Masorum, Wood Brothers.
Yeah.
Mr. Banks, shouts to Chris in Melbourne, Australia. Like he loves.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Chris
all the way out there.
shit.
All right.
I bet some other Aussie ones are doing it. So that made me super happy to see breweries from everywhere jumping on board. It's a cool concept. I really, really like it. So yeah, we're just going to mention that because last episode we were just talking about the cool ideas that we had sort of heard that people were doing, like all these curbside pickups and interesting delivery services and selling their food. Oh yeah, speaking of that, Bellwoods, I just saw as of I think today or yesterday they announced they're selling these like food baskets. It was $40 for produce basket, sorry. So it was $40 for produce only, or $100 with all the produce, and then you get.
Oh, they said could have picked up groceries
as well. Well, then you have to go to the brewery.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and they're gonna ship me all them, and they just give you. I saw people on Instagram post it. So they give you a box, but it's got like carrots and whatever, all sorts of shit. But then the expensive box, it said you get lambic, and it was actually Thirsty Kirsty. I saw her post it, and they said lambic comes with it. I saw like a Drie from Tandem beer in there, so I thought they made it their lambic.
Damn.
So they're giving actual Belgian lambic with the shit.
That's
you get
crazy.
a bar now, one of their stuff. You get a whole bunch of beers. You get cheese. You get honey from Rosewood.
Oh, all right, that's smart.
A whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, man, it's so sick. And someone else I saw do that. We're promoting other local. I swear it was a brewery. They were promoting other local like craft, whatever I was to say crafts. Maybe it's craft, but just food and shit.
Yeah.
And they're all selling out of the brewery and really pushing them. Probably they have the biggest platform and it's all community based.
Yeah.
Forget who it was. It was someone cool. But I like that idea. It's like just.
Oh, I love that. And you just have to be more and more creative, right? That's going to be the whole thing. The differentiator. Right now, like it's interesting because there are some people who are extremely struggling, and that's really shitty. And then there are other people though who are like thriving, like Dominion City's like I can't keep up with.
They sold out of beer.
Like that's
and
crazy.
They can't keep up.
The whole point is that businesses at this time are struggling. Are supposed to be struggling, and for them to be like, oh, we can't keep up, guys. Sorry, like that's crazy. But that I just feel like it's because they jumped on everything immediately. It's like they already they had some good hindsight, like better hindsight in the government, something like that. Like they already knew, like, all right, we gotta.
Very nimble.
Yeah, very nimble.
I wasn't going to jump into this yet, but that's a really good segue. So we wanted to talk about basically I've got some hard stats and then some anecdotal stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So
preach about it.
Yeah. So the first thing, if we'll go into the anecdotal stuff, and then we can go into the hard. Or maybe we should go to the facts first. Okay, let's go to the facts first because it makes more sense. So the Brewers Association of America, the U.S. guys who take care of all the breweries, they did a survey about the impact that the coronavirus is having on breweries. So we found a really good article that they posted about it, and that article was just mad, like it was too much work, but I found like the raw data that they asked in the survey. This is a bit better. So the first question they asked was, has COVID-19 already impacted your business? And 85%, yes, through online on-site sales, 90%. Were affected. Yes, through distributor orders, 59.5%. Yes, through cancelled events, 88.3%, and 1% said no. They must.
1% said no?
Like that. But then at the same token, like say Dominion City, they would likely have had to cancel events and it would have impacted.
Everyone would have had to.
Right. Yeah. But they're still selling out of
beer.
beer.
It's such a huge brewery thing, like doing the events all the time. Like it's massive. The trivia Trivia is such a big thing. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And then of the ones that said yes through online sales, has it infected it? 85 of those, 90% of people said they had closed their tap room or brew pub when they responded, and that goes up to 87% looking at the latest 300 responses. So the vast majority of 90% had closed their actual tackle as well, which I think everywhere. Maybe at the time they did this survey, it was a little bit older, or because things changed.
I think it was like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, okay. If that's the case, then that's probably why. So that's pretty good. Now the next thing that says, what do you anticipate your year-on-year sales to be over the next month compared to last year? 95% down.
Jeez.
2.8% flat. 0.7% up, and no response was 1.5%, probably because they just started.
Well, this is like a full quarter taken out of your business, minimum.
Minimum, depending on what the when this all ends, which very likely is going to be June, July, at maybe best case.
My whole thing has been August. Is kind of like what I've had in mind, but probably August. It's just like what everyone has to think about is like, are we going to be comfortable? Even if they're like, hey, yeah, like all's good, guys, go outside. It's like
I'm not running out.
I'm not going to run outside and run and go sit down at a restaurant or go run in a crowded place and start hanging out. I know people like Bassa are not concerned if they go out and live in their lives like nothing's going on. But for the rest of us, we're really freaking out.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I just don't think that people will immediately rush to go sit down in a large crowd and start spending and living that way. So it's like, what are going to be all the after effects of this, right? Like, even if people could still go back to work, which is perhaps going to be a risk and have us go into some form of like second wind of this.
Which is, I think China's getting the second wind now.
Yeah, and then also we're going to go into flu season, so there's all these factors to consider, right? Because then we're already going to have the flu season that comes in probably like fall, right? And then now we also have this to battle, right?
Yeah.
So
what's Basma say?
Basma says 99% survival rate. That depends where you are. It's 10% death rate in Italy, though.
And and I feel like the survival rate is good, and it's great.
Yeah.
But Scarface, one of my favorite rappers, he has it, unfortunately, and he had kidney failure. And last I heard, his lungs collapsed, and he was. I saw a bunch of videos. He was on Instagram Live with some other folks, and like, he was just saying it was the worst pain he's ever been through in his life. He's like, man, I thought I was gonna die. Like, it was the one time in his life, and he's been in cars, and he was one of the pioneers of gangster rap. You can imagine, and he was actually like doing wild shit back in the early 90s. So he's seen everything, and he's like, this is the first time I'm scared because I'm not in control. At least he's been in a situation, there's guns and violence, whatever. He knew how to handle it. When you put him in this, he's like, man, he was, and seeing a dude that is like unshakable essentially, be so shook about it. It's like, man,
because it's just like you don't know what will happen. And even like, Bassan, what you're saying is like,
what's he saying?
Technically people in our age group are going to be okay, perhaps.
But
we do have the thing that you might have an underlying condition you don't know about, and then all of a sudden you're fucked. I've seen like people who are our age group who are dying or have died just because they didn't know something was wrong. Like I told you about those like 3 dudes in Vegas, and all 3 of them came back. They're all in their 20s. All 3 of them got COVID, but only one of them passed away. He was like 23 or something. But they don't have the time to really figure out why exactly it went wrong. But obviously there must have been something there.
Right.
So most of us will be fine, yes, but then you also have to worry about spreading it to someone else. So that's
the other concern.
But he says, like, I'm not saying be reckless. He's saying we'll be fine. But yeah, I'm not like out here panicking.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like I'd rather not.
But like, no,
I'd rather not get it.
I feel like
it still is not proven whether or not, because there was this whole herd immunity thing, or we should all get it.
I don't know about that, eh?
It's all there's no proven fact that we have the antibodies, that we're actually creating the antibodies that would sustain us all the way through. Because in the end, people get flus all the time. They get vaccines, and then they still get the flu.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't mean that we're building up, our system is building up something against it. And the virus is so new, it's mutating in ways that we don't know. Yeah. So,
and you could
there's just too many variables. You know what I'm saying?
And it leaves the lungs.
Sebastian says, I get it. That's all. It's just the variables.
No, it's exactly. And like something we were just talking about even before we went live, with regard to the being cautious. Like I've spoken to a few friends about it, and it's talking about like going grocery shopping or getting beers in the mail. Like I wash every single one by hand, put soap in my hand, scrub it up, and then scrub the beer.
Why do you have to scrub it up? Pause.
Anyone who understands pause, you know what it is. And I had to, I scrub every beer can, every piece of everything we buy in the grocery store, all the fruit and vegetables, we chuck in the sink and wash it up. We wash down anything that's plastic. We used to Lysol, we used the wipes, but we're trying to save those. So then we started like Lysoling the cardboard stuff, or say if it was like a frozen pizza or something, you take the pizza out and then put that just in the microwave. in the
Yeah.
freezer.
Complete opposite.
Complete
thing
opposite.
that you
We
wanna
do not have a microwave. Shouts to no microwave squad.
No, no need that.
And yeah, and then that saves using too many Lysol wipes. So I've spoken to friends who don't do any of that stuff. They just get the burritos like normal, chuck in the fridge. I feel like there's different levels of sort of preparedness for it. We are leaning towards the over prepared because
I've always been over prepared all my life though too. Like,
this is how you've always been. I've always been super clean, like really careful with washing my hands and not being. We're very clean people, so our house is always clean and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would just rather be overly cautious now and do more than necessary than have to regret it later.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that's super frustrating.
Yeah, so it's
I
just
don't wanna-
exercising extreme caution.
Yes, correct. So, are you doing that? Yeah.
I'm just letting people know what's
No,
happening.
let people know what's
on,
going on. Cheers,
the old
Instagram. Come and watch us on YouTube and then listen again next week on the podcast. Yeah.
Look at that content
yeah.
inception. So much
Oh,
content.
so much content, guys. Shouts if you're making content. Let us know what content you guys are making. I've got the next article point, and I was going to keep going while we're talking, but I won't do it from here because I didn't
perfect.
bring it up here.
So yeah, that was all a bit of a tangent to say that
I'm still going.
even though because
sorry.
I was just on that point about how 95% down is what I was saying, like you're getting a whole quarter extracted and no business is generally built for that.
Yeah.
And I think there's I don't know if everyone knows about like runway. So if you own a business, you should have some form of runway that allows, if you weren't making money for X amount of months, some people say 6 months is a good amount of runway to have.
That'd be good. 6 to a year.
Yeah. Like you should be able to
That's
sustain yourself without making any income. But I think especially something what we've always heard every time we've interviewed any craft brewer is that they're like, there's no money in this really. Like there's not a lot of money in this. So they didn't have that set aside most of the time to accommodate or to be able to withstand something like this.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So, and then we don't know how long it's going to be because even if it's just a quarter that we're quarantined, what about the quarter for the comfort or how long it takes for people to get comfortable to want to actually go somewhere? Yeah.
So even if they let us out, like you've got in your head August, I don't have anything in my mind. I imagine during the summer, but I think if you guys remember from when it started, it was like the social distancing in a restaurant or brewery or whatever. So you had have to have X number of tables in between the guests, and then each guest was separated unless they were a family or a couple or whatever. So they might go back to that first, is what I was thinking, and then they'll slowly roll it out. But I think that rollout period is going to be mad slow. Excuse me, because we're going to have a second wave for sure.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
It's just not possible.
No,
I just think it's for sure.
So people are saying. Then the next part of this is like the average percent sales change is 59.5%. That's a pretty big swing, and the median is 60%. This is next. We asked brewers how their production schedule. Have you changed your production schedule in response? 28.4% they stopped. 61.1% said they slowed it. No change was 8.6%, and 1.9% people did answer that. So that's pretty low of no change. No change is probably something like the Dominion Cities and Missouri and breweries like that.
Yeah.
Who are running out of beer. They can't keep up. So they're probably even, they didn't ask there, but if they had increased, I'd like to see increased. Because maybe some people are making more beer because they're just buying more cans. I even noticed like breweries like Bira here in Montreal, they're just like a brew pub. And they started posting about cans now, so they're starting to can because they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
So they have to can everything. So
everyone's forced to adapt, right? You just have to.
You have to. Zero choice. Do you currently anticipate layoffs as a result of ongoing events? Yes, 61.1. No, 8.6. No layoff. Okay. Unsure, 28.4. So once again, a lot of people, the 1.9% didn't answer it. So that is kind of, I guess that's just saying there's a lot of uncertainty around when this is going to end. So I can put this back so you can check the people that I'm talking.
Oh, hey, Bruce.
Bruce Morris?
Bruce, you're awesome. Yeah, Bruce Morris.
You're a freaking legend, Bruce. Oh, that's
Bruce, you're awesome. Thank you. He said he just came on quickly to say hi.
Man. Staying safe. I'll get the next beer too. So.
Yeah.
So they're not too sure. So most people are going to lay off. Most breweries are going to lay off some stuff. But so if they're unsure, I mean that means maybe they hadn't done any layoffs as yet. So that's pretty interesting.
And you've also mentioned that some breweries are thriving, like because they adapted so quickly that they're able to keep their staff and maintain them to do all the new things that are going on, right? Like
correct. You don't want to get rid of them. And then we're going to have some anecdotal evidence that will support all that stuff you're saying.
Yeah.
And the final question they asked were, which policy responses would be most helpful for your business over the next month? And they had 10 different ones. And they ranked them in order. So the number one policy response people want are make unemployment insurance available for people who are temporarily laid off or furloughed. So that's we're fine with that in Canada. So hopefully the state's going to catch up. Create a compensation fund for businesses affected. Do we do that? We probably do, right?
Yeah. Create a compensation fund. Yeah.
I know if you've got employees like Daniel and Magic got theirs, which is great.
Yeah, isn't there there's like a 75%? I guess
no, that's a separate one. That's for the employee subsidy. Then there's
Okay.
also the $40,000. It's like a loan from the BDC, but it's like a bit. Some of it you don't have to pay all of it back.
Okay.
And I think it's only for only for businesses with employees. So I think that's the key part. Suspend payroll taxes, paid quarantine leave. Treatment of national emergency the way they would in national disaster, like waive penalties on tax payments and stuff, loan deferments for up to 2 months with no interest, paid sick leave for people that have benefits, increased funding for small business administration, immediate loan payment and cash transfers to individuals. Right? That was the very last one that brewers would find beneficial. So on that note, so that paints a pretty bleak picture, of what's happening. The vast majority have slowed down production or stopped.
Yeah.
The vast majority have laid off people or will anticipate layoffs. Basically, it's been an overall negative downturn in business. So, a few anecdotal things. We were talking to my brother today. He lives in Toronto. He went to a bunch of breweries, and he said Aveling in Toronto's East End there are thriving right now. They've got people hiding in the brew house. They got their kitchen.
Yeah.
They're selling all of their food because they actually grow produce on the roof, and they have a butcher in there and stuff. So they're selling their exactly. They're making meals, and their kit and their food's great. We've been there.
The food's fantastic.
They're selling that stuff. They're selling their beers and everything. They're killing it. Brad said they were doing great. Yeah. Eastbound apparently is doing the same thing. I'm not sure. They're actually not too far from Aveling. It's all East End breweries, I guess. They're doing well. They've got a great kitchen. Tara running that, and Dave in the brewery. Love those guys. They're super cool, and they apparently are killing the game, which is dope. Left Field, of course, they don't have any food. It's a tap room, but their online store. We got they were one of the first. They shipped us beer probably like 3 years ago when they first opened their online store, and when it all sort of kicked off. Maybe 2 years ago. It feels like a while. Remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a big ass box, but back in the day, Rorschach in the same area. These are once again all eastbound.
So East End,
East End stuff, super doing good, and of course Dominion City, like we talked before.
Yeah, just killing it.
Yeah, I found their. Someone told me their motto today is "Stay home, slay full."
Stay home, slay full. I
Oh,
like that.
That's the episode.
I like that. Did you talk about Brewski as well?
No.
Brewski's doing really well because they did the vacuum sealed meals basically.
Yeah.
So you can actually get your meal vacuum sealed, which is such a great way to keep all your kitchen staff employed as well. And now you can get your beer from them and also get these vacuum sealed meals, and you can pick them up. So it's like a really great way to continue to support the community and continue to support the industry. So I think it's kind of like pivot or die in a way as well, right? That's something that you have to consider. Bruce, is Julie with you? Say hi if she is. But yeah, it's you have to just find a way to adapt to the situation. And I think this is something that and not to go into a whole thing about business and recession, but this is the time where you really have the opportunity to thrive, right? And really show yourself and what impact you can have in your business. It's we've been in as Bassam is called bull economy, so everything's been good and living well. We've all been living well. We've been in a land of abundance. There's no question. That's why all of these online businesses could start. This is why we've all been able, or a lot of people have been able to start their own businesses and be entrepreneurs. It's just because the economy has been so great. So now in this downturn, this is the chance, or this is when we're actually going to see what can you do in a bad situation? Because when everything's good, that's one thing. What can you do in a bad situation?
I think
my hope is that all the breweries continue to thrive because we don't want anybody to close. No. But I think it's going to be so key to just be extremely creative in this. Thank you.
100%. And it's been cool to see a bunch of breweries thrive. People really coming through and doing a fantastic job with the creativity behind it all, and just being, like you said, pivoting. I think that's the key thing right there. If a brewery is put in this position, all right, cool, fuck it. Tap room's gone, bam. All right, everything, we're canning it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the brewers who are here in Canada will be fine, but
Yeah.
the ones, the canning companies are going to be busy as hell.
Completely busy, yeah.
Because now they're going to have new customers.
Yeah. And obviously, of course, there's some people, there's nothing they can do. The keg company, for example.
Keg company, they're in some trouble.
So it's not your fault. What are you supposed to do? So it's just, but if you do have the opportunity, like these breweries that we were just talking about, and there's so many of them that I just see every day where I'm like, wow, how creative is that? It's really like, you're really going to prove yourself in this time.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be hard as hell, but like, you're going to come through obviously great on the other side, because like, wow, you've probably
innovated.
created new streams that you didn't realize of revenue, and then you forced you to be innovative. You saved your staff, and also the tough decision to even close. That's something that might just have to happen, because that it allows you to preserve as well. Yeah, close for a period of time.
Yeah,
whatever makes sense.
We talked about that with
but if you can thrive and find a way to make things interesting, then great.
Yeah, Guillaume.
Guillaume says, "What beer? Jedi tuning in from Verdun."
What up, son? Guillaume is a legend. Be a Jedi when he used to blog, but he also works at Multi Hops, which is the most fire beer store in Verdun, which is sort of on the west side of Montreal. Guillaume is a champion. So this beer, Guillaume, you know about this, brother. Huge on hops. This is I guess you can't really see it, you don't have the auto focus on, but it's the flagship IPA from our good mates at Trailway, 6.6%. I don't know what hops they are. I looked it up. It's not around. Nice and hazy. Get that in you. And Guillaume, it's going to be available in Quebec next week. Amazing. Just a little less creamier than the Dunder there. This was canned, I don't know, it's a little blurry. But, but it's a little more on the dank side. Still super creamy, hazy. Like, I would drink this beer every day. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
So they're available in Quebec next week. So
I think it's 13th of March.
That's what I wasn't too sure. I just bought that. Never had it, but it's coming in with Brunswick. Correct. Yes, sir. That's what we're talking about here. So we're drinking all Trailway, everything tonight. So those are the anecdotal ones right there. So it seems that overall, though, basically there's a mix. I don't think there's like an overall thing. Probably overall it's in a downturn. Yeah. But the breweries that are being creative are the ones that are winning now, and hopefully they're going to continue to win with their, like you said, those new revenue streams.
New innovations, and like just keep the same energy on the other side, right?
Yes, that's it. Keep the same energy on the other side.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, so Trailway taking the risk. I bet this was organized a long time ago, but they're sticking with it, and they're going to release in a new province where they're not even located, and they have to rely on other people to promote their beers when there's probably less faces in the stores looking at it. Like, that's a huge risk. But I guess they probably already spent a ton of money. It's, beer stores are delivering, so as long as people know that they can get the beer. So that's why I wanted to make sure I drank all their beers on this podcast. At Trailway only tonight. It's one, this is a time, guys. Like, we use this platform a lot to support brewers as much as we can. We feel like that's part of the game. Mm-hmm. And anyway, we could sort of, let people know. So I know that I would want to be let known, be told about this stuff. Be let known.
Does be let known work?
No, it doesn't. No?
I would like to be informed. I think it's just informed.
Sometimes
I like to be let known when things are going on.
Do you know what's always interesting? These dumb things, these little Freudian slips, don't happen as much in real life as only when you're doing content.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? If you guys could see the behind the scenes of like filming stuff, you're good. I feel like with BAOS, it's more high season. We're like tripping over ourselves, like 5,000. It's like ridiculous the level, and you're like, why would I say? Like, why would I say that?
I don't talk like that.
Bassam knows. He's a fellow YouTuber.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. It's like all of a sudden we're like, why am I saying words like this? It just doesn't make sense. But there's a pressure, right? We have lights on us. You're recorded on a mic. It's live. You can't do anything.
No.
You can't do anything about
that. The good thing that takes the pressure away from like podcasts is that it's like supposed to be long form. You're allowed to go in depth in the stories or go on tangents. That's the whole point. It's people listening into a conversation, right? Yeah. And it's just like, because we have the camera. I mean, we've done this a million times, so it's whatever. But I'm normally used to having to direct somebody. Yeah. So these are like such a like. You feel good chill. Yeah. And I think sometimes that's when you trip on words. You say dumb stuff as well because you're maybe too relaxed. Whereas like I try to keep the interviews on, particularly the themed seasons now, it's much harder. And the high season stuff. So people who don't know, we have a social media agency called High Season Co. We have a YouTube channel,
and we do Instagram like tips and like entrepreneur stuff and advice or whatever. So they're more planned out videos. The BAOS videos, we go in there, we know what we want to talk about, and we kind of just riff off it. There's no point. You don't have to script anything. It's like it's just our opinions on beer and whatever. But High Season has to be like much more detailed. So I find, we were talking about the other day, I think High Season's made me a better YouTuber for BAOS because there's little things, little tricks. What's Guillaume saying there?
Guillaume says, I'm delivering beer by bike every day, like 6 days a week. We adapt even though our business model is not online sales. We try our best to satisfy our loyal customers, but it's not easy, man.
Shit, I bet, dude. Yeah. That's gangster. You're doing it like on a bike. I love that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's so sick. So basically, depths like multi-hubs are able to get hold of all the best beer. I mean, if the breweries themselves in Quebec, unfortunately, don't deliver, they're not allowed to, but don't they?
Yeah, they can.
They can't. You can go to a dep like multi-hubs, and then a depanneur is a specialty beer store. I keep forgetting it's not.
It's a French word.
Yeah, it's too like it's like you get used to calling it that. So it's like a specialty beer convenience store type of thing, and they for some reason, I don't know why, they have a license, they're allowed to do it, but breweries aren't. So breweries will probably need to distribute to those stores through a middleman, through a distributor. I'm not sure if they're allowed to do it themselves or not. Like self-distribute, probably way too much work.
Yeah.
And get the stuff out, and then that store can deliver, which is dope. But that's only if that store puts the beer on their online store. I think people are probably
or here with Guillaume saying he's just biking it.
He's biking it.
They don't have the online sales, but they're making it happen
because it's all within a local local area.
Radius. Yeah.
I know that the one that has a really good website is called Cheers Boutique. I've spoken to them before, but we were supposed to go to the launch party. Something happened, we didn't get to go.
Yeah.
They're in Point St. Charles, near halfway between Massorum and Fort Origins and St. Patrick there, and they just opened up delivery to Milan. So
nice.
if I ever needed some stuff right now, I'm good, but down the track.
Hey, Hop Citizen says, "What up, yo? How y'all hanging?
What up, sir?
You know, chilling,
Dwayne in the building,
drinking, doing our thing.
We out here, that haze, bro. Yeah.
What are you drinking?
What's everyone drinking? What's going on? What did Guillaume say he had?
He didn't say what he was drinking. He was just letting us know how that.
Oh yeah, I guess he's came in after.
But that's pivoting, so that's the same thing. Oh yeah, Guillaume, what are you drinking?
Tell us what's going on.
But yeah, it makes complete sense, and I love that idea. Yeah, you just gotta pivot. That's what pivot or die. That's just kind of what it is with every business in the end. Like we have clients, and in the end, they've been forced to like hotels. Like that business was like, okay, what do we do now? And a lot of them decide to shift into like extended stay models. So it's not about being a vacation anymore. It's about needing a place to stay if you're a nurse and you need someplace longer to stay and be away from your family out of safety for them. So just like if anything presents itself, just finding ways to navigate around it. And I love that. And if that means like getting on a bike and doing what you got to do, like it's not easy for sure, but like you're providing an extremely valuable service.
100%.
Water tonight. Oh no, why? I'm joking.
You got a break.
You got to take a break sometimes. Beer tomorrow. Just got done doing groceries. Could definitely use a beer. Oh, because it's a whole thing, the groceries.
It's good to do it. That's the money tip.
You're doing what we do.
Do it night. Nighttime is the one. Everyone goes during the day. You're standing at the front for 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
You're packed with a bunch of people in, or like feeling uncomfortable
way more
still.
People.
Yeah.
I feel like they still
nighttime grocery shopping. That's the plug. Yeah.
And like that's when they're starting to restock stuff anyway. And if you're going just for fruit and vegetables, like we don't get that much packaged stuff really. We keep on top of it. Fruit and veggies are always kind of stuff for like people grabbing everything's in stock everywhere.
Everything's been in stock except for the Lysol and sanitizer
hand sanitizer. There was like some of the frozen stuff. We just started getting a couple of like the organic frozen pizzas. All the organic ones we got.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
hipster area though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
so so that's been pretty good. Now, what was my next thing? Something someone else brought up, kind of like slightly off subject for a bit, is we were talking about. I posted the left field Blackburn. It's called. I don't know if that's what that is. Left field Blackburn.
Oh, the beautiful stout.
The beautiful stout. That's the one.
Yeah.
So there was the OG, the bourbon, and it was like coconut and coffee or chocolate or something like that. I had the OG in the big bottle format. I think it was either 500 or 750, maybe 6. It was like when they did big bottles, they don't really do that as much anymore. So I let that sit. I had that one for like 2 or 3 years before I drank it. I drank it a few months ago. And then when I was at left field last Toronto trip,
Toronto. Maybe we hopefully see you again one time.
Soon, please.
In the future.
Gosh, if I could just go to Toronto and Vermont, I'm good.
And Ottawa.
Yeah, and Ottawa too.
Yeah.
So they last time I was there, they had those ones, and they're in the 330 ml like short cans, like same as a typical pills or lighter beer. And I really enjoyed that because it fits. This is how I think we talked about this specific glass. Someone was asking me about it. It's like we got it from La Cuvée. I don't know what the name of it, but these glasses fit a full can of 330 ml can perfect to the top. So I can have this little glass of Imperial Stout. I don't have to, if you don't want it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to drink a 750 of 12% stout. It's just one is too much for one person, and like.
Yeah, perhaps.
If that's all you're drinking all night, maybe wouldn't you get sick of it? I don't know. That's a lot.
I guess if it's not considered like wine, because I can easily sit and drink a bottle of wine.
Maybe. Okay, so I haven't tried, I guess, but I like to sort of run through the styles. In a typical night, I'll start with pills, and I'll go to some haze, and I have a stout, and a sour. Or something.
Yeah.
Like I like to have 4 beers a night, which is kind of at my max. It works. Yeah, it works well. But the problem with the stout is that, like, if I want to get, or maybe I'll skip the sour and just like, let me get a boozy stout, and a small packaged can is perfect for that. And I had another one. I got it in a Jim. Shouts to Jim Reynolds. He follows us on Facebook, and he is in Pennsylvania. So he just sent a care package to my friend in Vermont for me with some fire, because there was a beer called 5 C's. It's like CEE.
That's cool.
So he wanted me to have the beer. It was like a nice West Coast IPA from Vault Brewing. So then he chucked in a couple other things, and I had this sick. It was fucking like 15%. It was a bourbon barrel aged stout from, I think it was what was it called? Free Will. I think it was the brewing called like Ralphie's or some shit. It was great, but I could drink it by myself. That was the only beer I had that night. 15%. Boom, boom.
There you go.
So somebody said they commented on the left field photo coming back to the original, and was basically saying that if more breweries made more of them, I would buy more stouts. Which I thought was an interesting point. So
that makes sense, yeah.
Comment.
Guillaume says, I'm drinking a Dunkel like an old German who still believes in the Reinheitsgebot.
Yeah.
I was trying to say it in a German way.
The purity law of like 15.
Hey, do your thing.
I respect that, bro. I fucks with that. I have a crispy. If I'd be down for a crisp for sure. That's good. So
I get that. It makes sense, and that's also another thing. So it's like hearing that type of feedback, which is why I guess social is so beneficial. That might encourage people to be like, fuck, maybe I should be putting these in like little small cans or something
rather
instead,
than the bigger ones.
So that way I can have the opportunity to sell more.
Yes.
In general.
Think of it like this, which I didn't realize. So basically, the smaller cans, particularly in the higher ABV beer, allow one person to drink it, not needing to share it. What that would also lead to are reduced cellars. The reason that we have a cellar, essentially, and stocked up beer is like too many big bottles of stouts and lambics or whatever that I can't drink by myself. I mean, you can drink a lambic at 5%, but it's mostly the stouts that are the problem. Just big ABV beers. And you just either don't want to, or you just, you don't always able to share them. So that will, making them in the smaller can will reduce that sort of stocking up, which means you'll be running through beer quicker. Quicker consumption, you'll enjoy it sooner, which, maybe you get, all right, one to age and then one to drink now type of thing. I wouldn't do that for the 750s. Like, just one's enough, I'm good. And think about it like this, there's no bottle shares anymore. What if you live alone? You're not going to
think about what I think you and Noah and Matt and
Derek did. That's not happening right now for the foreseeable future, because we don't have a date on it. So think about that. Like all those 750s that you think you're going to get through, if you're living alone or with someone who doesn't want to drink, so you're cool. If you're in the mood, I'll be like, you want to do this? Drink,
but I have wine to get through.
You got wine, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Even for us, you're down for it. There might be a night where you just don't want wine, or I don't want to drink anything else. I'm like, you want to split a big ass fucking stout?
And then I'm like,
let's do it. Or you'd be drinking wine before, then we'll finish on that or something together. So, but we'd have to pre-plan that, because I've got to pick it, put it in the fridge for the day, blah, blah, blah. And for the fact that there's going to be no more shares, I really think that says it all. Like, that's for if any other reason was important, that's the biggest reason for breweries to adjust their packaging. But there's not too many others I can think of. Someone even said to me the other day, isn't it weird to have like a bourbon barrel stout in like a can? I was like,
there is something that feels weird about it.
There is,
and that's why, because it's like, it's the same thing. Like wine in a can is like,
the big in the
why
States.
we have a wine in a can though, But it's more like I'm on the go, I'm having a good time, so I'm gonna have wine in a can. But in terms of like sitting and drinking, you feel like something that's like higher end, which is when you think about these big stout, these big bourbon barrel. Like you can get a lambic in a can. Like it just
It doesn't feel weird,
it feels
right?
wrong.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So I get that. I get that
Yeah.
part of it for sure.
What's Guillaume saying?
Guillaume says that's a good point. I believe there is a huge market for big ABV beers in 330 and 355.
Yeah.
I
So
often
good.
drink alone, forever alone.
Oh, don't say
Stop.
that.
So I don't want to open a 750 milliliter bourbon barrel aged Baltic porter.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and that's like a genuine.
You won't be alone forever.
No, don't. You gotta put out that energy.
Yeah.
Question for you then. So, sorry, is he saying he is seeing more, or he thinks?
No, I think there's a huge market for it.
There's a market for it. So,
Yeah.
in Quebec, you can only speak for the place that you're at. Have you seen? And this goes for everybody else who's I guess watching live specifically, or even if you're listening, like who else has seen an uptick on this? Like, do you have a lot of high ABV beers and short cans in wherever you are, whether it's Guillaume here in Montreal or Dwayne, Daniel in Vancouver, Braddles in Toronto? Like, are you seeing that type of stuff?
Bassam in Toronto have the beers they have.
Because yeah, he's crushing beers.
He's crushing beers.
He's a beast. Bassam got me Milk Shark. He's the best.
Yeah, but that would be interesting to see. I guess the depths will have a lot of information on this type of. They're always, I guess, the forefront of consumer interests, right?
Yep.
So yeah, the
Yeah,
perspective
if people aren't going into it, because there's probably a lot of people who just buy their beer from a depth still and don't
Yeah.
bother going to the breweries. Maybe
Yeah.
there's none close, and it's sort
Especially
of like
here, it's just
easier
not
to
that
get.
easy.
Like, yeah, the depths are great. The depths
Yeah.
have a fantastic.
Yeah, our
variety of
depths are
stuff.
amazing here, though.
Yeah, we are very super spoiled in
Yeah.
in Quebec with all of that.
Bassam says all of the beers.
All the beers, crushing them.
I'm surprised about the Bellwoods, really. I thought you'd crush them before you.
Yeah, right. Fuck, he's a fiend.
Yeah.
Can't keep him off him.
But yeah, no, that's a fair point, and I guess again, yeah, that's just like keeping kind of testing the market, seeing what makes sense, and then like
Yeah, and then going
doubling
for it.
down on that, yeah.
And I'm starting to like. I haven't seen many of them, and I was just thinking before. The first one I ever saw was 1050 from Oscar Blues. I don't know if you ever remember that one.
No.
That was like a 10%. I think it's 10 or 11 in the can. It always kind of like. What's you know what I'm saying?
Beauregard have done some.
Oh yeah,
I
Beauregard.
heard
of course.
today they declared bankruptcy.
No, really?
Aww.
So they done for?
Their Choco Piedmont
Yeah,
is amazing.
yeah, that's the one that Nate bought the bottle of.
Oh, that's so sad.
That sucks. So Beauregard are a brewery in Montreal. We only went there for the first time in like a month ago. We did a vlog, City Brews Tours, but we haven't dropped it because it's like encouraging
What's the
people
point
to
of the
drink in
travel
Montreal.
concept,
The
yeah.
travel content, and we've got like 3 different cities,
Yeah, we have a San Francisco vlog, a
Vermont.
Montreal vlog, and a Vermont vlog.
all backed up.
Yeah,
There's
we
no
go
point-
back and forth. Maybe people can tell us, at least on the podcast too. Like,
Yeah,
do
that's
you
a
want
question.
to see the travel inspiration content, or does it feel like it doesn't make sense? Because then we're like, should we hold it until people can actually go outside again, or should we leave people inspired for when the future happens? You know,
That's
so
a
that's
good-
kind of the thing we've been weighing up.
I never
And
thought
then-
about asking the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
if
that's a shame. I love they were so cool too.
Beauregard were dope. So they only did dark beers. So
Yeah.
all of their beers were dark. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's like black lagers or porters, stouts. They might have had a black IPA, if I'm not mistaken. But most of the things we had, a lot of barrel aged stuff, and they also they have a still in there, so they make
Yeah.
booze. I think it's whiskey or something.
I believe it was whiskey.
Their shit was crazy, so we only went there for the first
They
time
look
on that
great,
that tour. I can understand it because they were in the middle of this like they're behind my brasserie there in Rosemont, like a little industrial park, super small space but super cool. Just a tap room, like a tasting room and stuff.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the beers. Were intense, but they were great. I think
That's a shame to hear.
oh, same comment.
Yeah.
Oh my bad. I'm sorry.
This is why I managed the
Yeah, sorry. It's like I can see, but like
because I was like, I know you're like, what's that to say over there?
yeah, it's just because I know
Oh,
you.
you have your glasses on.
I have one.
actually.
I can
Yeah.
like I'm saying I can see the name of the people,
Yeah.
but I can't like read the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's kind of messed up, man. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, basically for people who don't know, we do a series called Where to Drink Craft Beer in wherever vlogs. We've done 10 of them. We did Colorado ones. We did Virginia. We did one Montreal so far. We did. Fuck, what else did we do?
Yeah, where did you? Everywhere to say sorry. So Colorado,
I was saying, what have we done so far? I can't
Colorado,
remember.
Virginia, Vermont,
Vermont.
Montreal,
San Francisco.
San Francisco, which is to be released because we paused it,
Yeah.
right? Melbourne, or like where?
Did you Melbourne? No, I didn't do it. That was just like what I.
Oh no,
did.
you did a vlog. Yeah, it was
A
just like
vlog,
a
yeah.
every drinking type vlog.
So something we started doing. I think we started it with the Colorado. When we worked with tourism officers, we did Colorado like a year and a half ago, and we did it with them and kind of made it where to drink, because what we want to do is just show you all the different breweries and what our experience is. So we realized we hadn't done one in Montreal, so we did one. We brought Nate down from Ottawa. We did one ourselves, and then we did another one. The one that's already out, the City Brew Tour, so once again, it hasn't dropped yet. And we did one in Vermont in our last trip, and we actually hit like 7 places. Over that weekend.
That was great.
That was really fun.
Oh, that was right before everything went to hell.
We just made it.
I think we went March 4th to 6th. Hung out with Rob and stuff.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and then like everything started shutting down like the 11th or something. It was just like
we did the collab on the Friday the 13th. The following week.
Oh no, so because shit hadn't started shutting down. So
but we were a little weird about going out. Already.
And then that's why we paused the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we had that. And then
so like we have to pivot again. See,
we had to pivot quickly.
Pivot. It was like, what are we going to just stop putting out content and not do anything? It's like, nope, we're going to start a quarantine edition podcast, and here we are. Drinking beers, talking with people, hanging.
Yeah, exactly. So we had, so basically the question is, do you guys want us to release any travel-based content? We've got the 3 videos, San Francisco, Vermont, and Montreal, part 2, loaded up. We can edit them and drop them, but we thought, one, it doesn't really help the breweries yet because they can't go there to see them. But maybe it will inspire them, and hopefully there's only a couple months left, and people will be able to go there sooner than later. But it might just be like, would you be looking at that right now? Is that just like hurt you to watch people have fun in public together? Like, is it too soon? I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah.
So like, let us know, guys. Like, listening on the audio, like, let us know. Shoot us a DM or a comment on anything. I'd love to know. And you guys watching right now, if you got any thoughts, I'd love to hear it. And speaking of a pivot, that's a really good point. So we had 2 seasons. We had the what's it called? Against the Grain season, and we did 4 of the 6 podcasts. We had L'Oreal and Bar Canada lined up. They both were in like the week after the collab with
Wood Brothers, where everything got way too. It started getting too.
Yeah, L'Oreal cancelled first, and I thought they were being a little extra, and that was.
But even so, I was kind of like, nah, you're not.
I wasn't mad. I was like, oh, come on, it's just gonna be a few of us in the room. But I'm like, that was before we even knew
how extent it was.
But we kind of like, and then when they cancelled, I was like, oh yeah, Bar Canada's got to cancel.
So we met you guys with them, right? Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, you're right.
And they were right. And then Nate was like, don't go there.
Yeah, Nate's like, don't
like,
risk
fine.
it. There's too many touch points.
Yeah, too many touch points. Yeah,
it's not right.
So that was
we stopped that one, and we had a second one we started with. I've talked about it before, right?
Yeah, building a brewery with Overhawk.
So we're documenting them building their brewery. We're gonna miss. They've kept going.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna just miss it.
We're gonna miss it.
So it's gonna be like building a brewery. Here's the intro. And then we're just gonna have to we'll work it out.
It's not optimal, and we had multiple other ones. We had a trip planned to another region of Ontario with the tourism office, and we're gonna do a live podcast out there.
Put on hold.
And we had
we're gonna go to San Diego.
San Diego on hold.
Everything's canceled. 2020 canceled.
I was talking with some Quebec City people. We're talking about. We're talking with some other Quebec places, and talking with Vermont too. We're talking with a bunch of them because we really want to keep this going. And this is our thing. The summer is our time. That's when we go out there and we show off the places, and that's why it's always so busy for us. So whilst I'm grateful that we finally get to kind of rest, save some money, stack some money, work on things that maybe we didn't have time for, because we are always moving around in summer, and kind of like, I don't know, mildly sad about it, that we're not going to be able to go anywhere. Yeah. Which is why we have to make our balcony extra fire.
Yeah, exactly.
And so maybe it'd be good for us when we actually get, like, I've always been behind on the beers. The summer's ruined me. I'm still catching up with some of the 1-minute reviews from last summer, just because it's got wild. I got too many. I went too crazy, so now I'm balancing it more, so I feel like I'm starting to catch up. Yeah. And being able to, if I get something to promote, I can do it. I can execute faster on everything, and I'm more thoughtful because maybe I've got a little bit more time, and I'm just like, I don't know, fuck up. Yeah. Now I'm like, all right, this needs to go, and I'm being able to kind of position it a bit better. Yeah. So that's been pretty good with the pivoting and such. Do what we do, and now that's brought us here. Yeah. Now we get to hang out and chill and do some lives. Even though, like, lives, I don't know, they're so funny, because I like... Lives are cool. This is interesting, and this is kind of like we were going to do it anyways. They canceled our Kinton Ramen, and we got a $10 credit. Hey, maybe we get tomorrow. See, so it's better that we didn't cancel ourselves. Yeah. All right, guys, you wondering how the end of this story goes? We got our money from Kinton Ramen from our DoorDash order, and we got $10 on top of it. Yes. Right? So that's our failed order story. It worked out pretty well. Also, for anyone who cares and when they're ready, Kinton Ramen is a chain of ramen restaurants that
Yeah.
you've been in Toronto. It's solid. It's like,
Yeah, it does
It's
what
not-
it needs to do. It's not like the best.
but it's
It's
like
pretty good.
it's pretty fucking good. Like
Yeah.
I'm never upset to have it.
Yeah.
But there's a couple stores here in Montreal. The best ramen in we haven't been to Japan.
In the world. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say in the world and get really cocky like I know better.
No, we need to go to Japan. Yeah.
It's what's the name of it? It's on Rochelle.
Because it has a
and,
weird name.
Saint-Denis.
That's why I never
And
know.
there's two different
It's
places.
like
If you're in
two
Montreal,
different names. It's like
Yeah.
they're all mysterious and
I
stuff,
always
right?
forget the name of it, but it's the best.
Yeah.
We went there. Actually, who did we
So
take there?
Rochelle and we took Nate recently.
Nate, that's
We
what we
went
took.
with
on the
Len is the
vlog.
one that put us on, I
Yeah,
believe, because
Len
Len
always
always
puts
puts
us
us
on.
on to the good stuff. But it is the best ramen that I've ever had, and I've tried like at least like 7 to 10.
Well, that
So
was
I
what
had-
do you know why? That was one of the first ramen both of us ever had, I think. Either the or one of
It's
the.
not because the first ramen I had was with one of our first clients ever, 6 years,
Oh, you
5 years ago.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still with.
And I was like, ramen's cool. And then I had that one, and I was like, oh my
Oh.
goodness. Like, what is this
Okay.
magic?
yeah, so we got
So,
spoiled
yeah.
pretty early that everywhere we go we have ramen. I haven't
So
had
I
anything
feel
that
like
fire yet.
never. Keep trying. I've tried several places. And it's just never as good. The broth. It's all in the broth, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, I feel like when we go to Japan, that's probably what we're going to find.
Get the
what we
killer
want.
one.
But then I went to Australia and had pies in Australia, and they were not as good as the ones just down the street from here.
That's pretty true, but I don't think we didn't go like I don't know.
Yeah,
what's
we
fire
had
there
like
anymore.
3 places.
Yeah,
But I
we
feel
did.
like you just feel like in Jamaica at least, everywhere you go, basically, oxtail is going to be better in Jamaica, no matter where you go. Jerk, pork, jerk, chicken. Doesn't matter if it's a street vendor or a restaurant. It's just going to be better
It's
than
gonna
what
be
you would
better.
get in a restaurant in Toronto. It's just by default, it just happens that way. So yeah.
That's a good point.
So I thought it was going to be like that, where like I
Get
was like,
rid of
oh,
the
all the
real
pies are
fire.
going to be amazing everywhere because
Yeah.
you're here, you know. To be fair, these people are Australian, so they just brought it back. Like,
The
they brought
chef
it
is
here.
Australian.
Yeah.
from
So
Brisbane.
yeah.
So it works out better, but yeah, you're right. I think we needed to plan ahead and find the fire one to be like, this is supposed to be the best pie shop in Melbourne or whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll do it next time.
Next time around.
Because we're supposed to be in
When
Australia
we're allowed
too.
to go to Australia again, which will be years from now.
I'm kind of
when
vexed
the
it didn't
border
work out
opens.
in hindsight because there was not only the
Australia had
this
too
shit.
much going on. The
fires,
fires, the
and
cyclone.
then
So
now
then I
this.
was just thinking about the poor quality air. And then when Corona started coming around, we're like, all right, let's
My
just...
friends were giving me shit beforehand. They were sending me pictures of like the CDC. Look, man, it's fine. Look, I'm breathing fine here. We're good.
And we would have been
Pretty
on
soft.
a COVID holiday there.
No, we would have had to
Or
cancel.
we'd had to cancel.
Or we would have been stuck.
Yeah.
Or you would have been quarantined for the whole time we would have been there. It's
Would've-
probably only go for 2
Disaster.
weeks or so.
Yeah.
So it's kind of whack. Is someone say
Yeah.
something? Or are we good?
No, no.
Do you want me to get the last beer?
Yeah, we'll get the last
then
beer and
we'll-
we'll wrap her up.
We'll wrap her up.
Yeah. What's your
Um,
next thing so I can at least kick
that's
some
it.
people off?
That's it. That's the problem.
Oh, that's it?
We ran out of all that stuff, but I want to actually like crack open the other beer on here because it's the double IPA.
Okay, we'll crack open the beer and then we'll end it off.
And we'll wrap it up. Do you want to get it so you're not forced to talk?
Yeah, Craig is more interested in just talking, rambling.
It's the black
but
can.
I'm
and the
not
second
that.
fruit.
I'm not that person.
That's okay. That's what we're here for, guys. So that's basically the main stuff I want to talk about tonight. Specifically, I really was fascinated by the short can thing. That was my joke right there. Just because it happened. Yeah, that one. I also want to make sure that people know about Trailway. I was gonna say like pleasantly surprised. Like I knew the shit was gonna be fire. Thank you. So this last beer we're gonna have is called Sensible Nonsense. I like that. It's in a double IPA. It's 8%.
That's cool, name.
Yeah, right. I don't know anything. I have not had this one as yet. This is a haze. Of course, it's fucking haze. Jesus, these guys are the gods.
What is it, haze? It's all hazy.
Whoa!
Oh
I knew that
shit!
would
Sorry.
happen. I knew as soon as you were sitting, I was like, I should probably stop playing. Yeah, man. So if you're in Quebec, look for it. But if you're not in Quebec, maybe shoot them a message and be like,
I
look.
love that they're still coming out here too. Like they didn't let that intercept their plans at all. Like let all this stuff stop them. You know.
No.
It's probably better because it's just like, okay, we're gonna get more people, so why not enter another place that we're gonna get
You do it.
more customers from, right?
Exactly. Tropical.
Ooh, it smells great.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, we gotta leave some in so I can take a photo too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you say cheers?
I like it. Sticky, a little bit piney, malty and sweet. Maybe in comparison to the other two, they're quite light. Oh, sorry. I like the name. Sensible Nonsense is good.
Yeah, I love it. And it
Yeah.
tastes great. You guys are good. I'm really happy.
I'm about it. So, That's kind of it for this week, guys. What's the time? Just over an hour.
Hey,
Nice.
that's what I'm aiming for. My goal is 45 minutes.
Yeah, well,
So there you go.
I didn't really go to
Craig doesn't put any times on anything, but I'm just like, okay, I'm just
No, we
45
used to.
minutes.
Do you know why? Because when we first started the podcast, we were like, all right, it's going to go no more than like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'd have these conversations with people and we'd cut it off and then we'd start a new one, a new episode. But why would you do that?
Okay, we're doing part 1 and 2. It's like, why?
And that
Like,
happened so many times.
Yeah.
Like, just keep it fucking going.
One
right?
day, Joe Rogan status, guys, you're going to see 3.5
5
hour.
hours. We've done that. We've done 3.5 hours.
Okay, you're going to see
5
5-hour podcast on the regular.
It's happening.
But I feel like you have to interview exceptional people like Joe Rogan does as well. Everyone
Or
who
he
interviews
just hangs out with his
exceptional,
mate.
sorry. But you know, people are more interested by a celebrity, and they're like, fine, I'll stay on, or something like that.
Or you just listen to it over, like,
Otherwise, you have
those
to
long
keep
ones,
pausing
Noah
it.
from Beerism used to give me shit, and he'd be listening to it over, like, whatever,
I feel
a
that
week
way
of,
too. Sometimes,
traveling.
like, yeah.
to work and stuff each way. You get half an hour. 45
I didn't
minutes
mind
of
that
yourself.
actually when I was commuting, because then I was like, okay, whatever. You get it on the way there. That's like,
Yeah,
it could be
continue
half an hour,
going.
and then another half hour on the way back. You just keep it
interesting.
moving, you know.
Exactly.
But there is another level. There's a top tier podcast category that only a few people are in, a la Joe Rogan, who can just like freaking do a 5-hour podcast and just keep it rolling, you know.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
5 hours is pretty good. Like,
That's like-
Alex Jones one's like 5 hours. I listened to that on the plane to Australia. Because
That's like
how
only
much time you
20%
got.
of the flight or something still.
You know it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Australia's something special. You can watch 3 movies and it means nothing. You've
You're
gotten
like a
nowhere.
third of the way.
Yeah. You even have a full 8 hours sleep and you still have 8 hours left on that specific
That's
flight.
not actually. But still,
It's 15 hours, sorry. You'll still have 6 to 7 hours left.
it's still significant. It's a lot.
really
It's
significant.
no. I'm not dampening
Yeah.
your point.
5-hour podcast, how many beers is that? Oh, that's true.
It'll be a lot.
So that's the only thing. It could, also, Joe Rogan's not drinking. So, yeah.
No, they are.
That's
They're
true.
drinking, but
Oh, wait,
they're
they're
drinking
drinking, like, whiskey, yeah.
and water.
Because that's a lot of beers. That'll get pretty messy, perhaps.
That'd be we
Yeah.
try. Yeah, 3.5 hour ones are always trash.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's how we
That's
get
so
down.
true.
Guys, so that is it for the evening. Thank you so much for watching. If you've tuned into the live, appreciate y'all. We're live every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Until further notice.
Until further notice. So we're just going to keep doing this every Friday. And then we release the podcast on Wednesday. It actually goes live just after midnight coming into Wednesday. So it's like whenever you want to listen, it's available on the Wednesday. So yes, appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. If you for those watching, if you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast for all of our shit that is going. And check out the long form audio that we're recording right now. This drops every Wednesday, like I said. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere. Subscribe. Give us a rating, a 5-star rating in the. Is it a thumbs up there as well? No.
No,
Rating,
it's like
a star, 5 stars.
Yeah,
so
like that,
5
yeah.
stars, rating, and a subscribe. Those are things that helps us a lot trying to get out now. Particularly when people have a bunch of time, and hopefully we can bring in some good beer content. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching and listening. See you in the next episode. Get it in ya. So we can get it in ya, mate. Alright, audio stuff. So, video guys, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the evening. We'll catch you in the next one. Just hit stop streaming right there. Ooh.